Welcome back. We continue our hour-long special on the stories the politicized media has not gotten right this past year or so from both sides of the media political aisle. In July, a horrifying story broke in Ohio and spread like wildfire. A 10-year-old girl raped and then had to cross state lines from Ohio to Indiana to get an abortion. For many on the right, the story seemed too perfect, coming just a week after the opinion overturning Roe v. Wade was handed down. Some, including some on Fox News, dismissing it as likely a fanciful tale.
You would think the story of a sexual abuser roaming free, assaulting 10-year-olds, would raise quite a few concerns in small-town Ohio, but no one seems to be doing anything about it.
Why did the Biden administration, speaking of lying, just repeat a story about a 10-year-old child who got pregnant and then got an abortion or was not allowed to get an abortion when it turns out the story was not true?
The idea that you would have politicians in America trying to exploit a story like this and make up a story like this in order to advance their own sick agenda tells you they're not serious about the issue. And
turns out the story was very real. And that same week, Gerson Fuentes, 27-year-old undocumented immigrant from Guatemala, arrested, charged with raping a 9-year-old girl. The girl, who turned 10 in May, traveled to Indiana to get an abortion after Ohio doctors told her mother they were uncertain if it would be legal in the state. He confessed to raping her at least twice. Never a correction from Tucker Carlson, Jesse Waters. And Waters even tried to pretend like Fox had done a journalistic service with his inaccurate speculation.
Primetime covered this story heavily on Monday, put on the pressure, and now we're glad that justice is being served.
Right. Then some in the right-wing media pivoted and looked to turn the narrative and the tragedy and to make it the real perpetrator, the Indiana doctor, Caitlin Bernard, who administered the abortion, even though it turns out she violated no law, regulation, or guideline. But from the media perspective, there wasn't even an effort made to admit that they got this one wrong. Back with us from the right, John Ziegler, from the left, David Schuster. John, does the right, do the folks who went out on a limb here owe the public an apology on this one?
Yeah, and I'm one of those. I got fooled by this one. I have an equation. This is a true story. You might find this humorous. I have an actual mathematical equation I use to figure out whether stories like this are true or not. I used it in the BYU Duke story, and it served me well there as well as it has in many other stories that I've correctly debunked. I was wrong about this one because the story didn't feel right and did not fit with what a lot of people would consider to be a legitimate news story to begin with. And in a lot of ways, Dan, to me, this is the exception that proves that rule. The original story, while true, did not pass journalistic muster. There was only one source from a biased person, the abortion doctor, with no other details, and it felt too good to be true. I was wrong. I'm more than willing to admit it, but I would add one other thing. The reason why we know this story was true was because of a Herculean effort by the Star newspaper in Indianapolis. Does anybody else really believe that the Star would have used all those resources to track down whether or not a 10-year-old girl had to cross state lines for a medical procedure if it didn't also fit their pro-choice, pro-abortion agenda? There's no chance in the world that happened. So I'm glad we figured out this story was true, but in a lot of ways, the truth of this story is the exception that proves the rule.
David Schuster, what do you make of it?
Well, I'm from Indiana, and I've never heard the Indianapolis Star described quite that progressively and liberally. But putting that aside, the fact of the matter is, John's right. There was reason to be skeptical at the beginning because it was just one source, and this doctor was not providing much information because of confidentiality. There's nothing wrong with a Fox News or a John Ziegler or anybody else saying, hey, this is what this story is based on. It's one source. Here's the reason to be skeptical. But when you start to say the story is not true or that was completely made up, as they said on Fox News, that's where you get egg on your face. And so for Jesse Waters and a lot of other folks who are so eager to make declarative statements about whether a story is true or false, if they would just stick to some attribution, go ahead and feed stories to your audience that they like. Feed them the skepticism if you like, but give some attribution.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.